So for the people who are here, the 8 or 10 people who are here, we've been doing these live streams. We've done a couple, and most of them have been pretty structured in the sense that there was a plan for what we were going to be doing and what I wanted to go over and what I wanted to share about. And in our last live stream, we as a matter of fact, hold on, I'll go get them. So our last live stream that we did, we're talking about lawncandysupply.com, which by the way, I'll put the link in here as well. And I got a back to school set. And if you're not sure who Biff is, I'm going to show him to you. My wife is such a diligent packer now. Back to school set. I just wanted to point out, everybody needs to know that this is Biff. So if you're wondering who Biff is, and I randomly named him the last time I was here, he's a bus driver. And dude, look at this guy. He's like smiling all the time. Look at him. So that's kind of how we coined this, like, be like Biff. Just be smiling all the time. Be like a bus driver. You know what I mean? So, yeah, David knows. So the reason for bringing that up is the last time we had a live stream, we had a bunch of characters in here, and it really, got some wonderful momentum. And, towards the end of it, we all kind of bantered on. So what I wanted to make sure that you guys knew, and David, welcome. I'm glad you're here, buddy. This should be exciting for you. Hopefully you find some good content here and whatnot. But I think it'd be good to get some Q&A going on, and I'm happy to do that, and I want to do that. But I do have to cut this thing off at like 10 because, believe it or not, I got to install a sign tonight. Yeah, listen, even though I might have a YouTube channel and some followers and a lot of people on an awesome Facebook group, I still got to work here too. So what I'm telling you guys to do, I'm doing myself. All right. I'm going to give it 2 more minutes, and then we're going to dive into this thing. Who else we got in here? We got Dave, we got Riri, we got Dave. Who else? Don't be shy. This is not a time to be shy. Can I show you guys? Can I go show you guys my new GoPro 8? So what I'm realizing about YouTube is, up until just a couple weeks ago, I've been using my cell phone, and that's fine and dandy. But in order to make this stuff better, you gotta get some better equipment. So check this out. Whoa! That's a lot going on right there. Supposedly that's like a deep sea fishing light that you can use underwater. That might just be too bright for me, but we're going to give it a shot. Anyway, so welcome everybody. I think we got 10 people here. We're going to go at 9, 10, and then we'll dive in. I have a couple topics I want to talk about very briefly, and then we'll do a Q&A, come with some questions, and then we'll go from there. You have to forgive me. I went to cookout tonight. Aiden had football practice. 7-on-7, one-hand touch. I don't know what that is, but yeah, we got in a little bit late. Oh, here we go. I didn't scroll down. There's David. Hi, Michelle. So wonderful to see you. Hey, Santa. Shanta, sorry. Santa, Sandy, David. Nice. Oh, great question. David, great question. We love Lake Norman. Love it, love it, love it. As a matter of fact, I got a great story about Lake Norman, but I won't take the group hostage here. And you can send me an IM and I can tell you more about it. So it looks like we got 12 people here, which is awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. And this is going to be primarily a Q&A. So if you have questions, write them down, or be prepared to smash me with them. And let's just get crazy. And again, just before we get started, I want everybody to know that we have a new mascot, and his name is Biff. And it's Biff the bus driver. Okay? This is Biff. I want everybody to be like Biff. Okay? You got to be like Biff. He's a bus driver. Look at this guy. He's happy all the time. He loves driving kids to school. Yeah, that's how you want to be. All right. Let me dive into this thing because I know you guys are busy, and there's a couple things I wanted to mention. So, I, on Friday, did a video. It was a part 2 series on organization and storage. And there's a couple topics that I mentioned in this video. And the reason why I did it is when I first started, Jennifer and I first started in January, but we really didn't get active until like March. We bought a starter kit from Victory Store, and within the starter kit were 3 sets of letters. Wow. Holy cow, Tammy, are you serious? I love this. You're an hour away. We have a few other people who are not too far from North Carolina. We need to get like a group live stream together. I think that would be awesome. We could all have we could all get our Biff shirts on and we'll hang out and have coffee. Or, yeah, whatever. But anyway, I get distracted really easily, so you have to bear with me. But the point of the part 2 of the organization and storage is when we first started, we had 3 sets of letters. And in total, with all the vowels, not including the numbers or the hashtags or the @ signs and the exclamation marks, we had about 70 different letters per alphabet. And if you can do the math, that's 210 different letters. We had some in black, we had some in red, and we had some in yellow. And the biggest issue that Jennifer and I struggled with when we first started our business, because we were the only game in town for a little while, the biggest challenge that we had was managing all of these letters. So if you think about it, and if you hadn't seen the video yet, if I sell a happy birthday in red, and then a happy birthday in black, and then a happy anniversary or congratulations in yellow, right? Now I have letters that I'm not using. And what if somebody else would call and say they wanted, she said yes, or congratulations on your marriage, or something to that effect? Jennifer and I would not know what our inventory was. And we were managing these letters in a way that it was just completely and totally overwhelming. And if you know anything about the General, we are the opposite. She is concrete sequential. Everything's got to be in an order. Everything's got to be in a line. And I'm completely random and abstract. So we butted heads on how we did that. And we've learned over the course of the last really month and a half, partly because of a lot of what our group members are doing, is that the new name of the game, in my opinion, our theme-based approach towards at least storage goes. And so in this video, I break down, like if you notice, we got Biff, all right? So Biff is in the what? It's gonna be in the back to school bus bag, right? So we got these huge, big ass Ziploc bags. Look, it actually says Ziploc on them, all right? So you can go and get these things. And this is 32 inches high. I can't even tell you about how much stuff is in here. but it's labeled back to school, right? And we use it with the multicolor set, back to school. So my point is that now we can organize the back to school theme in a way where we can just pull it off the wall, chuck it in the car, grab whatever letters that we're going to use, hop in the car, do back to school, put out all of our items, right? And away we go. So right now, Jennifer and I are taking pictures of all of our happy birthday themes, all of our congratulations, all of our back to school themes, and we're putting them in bags. I think that that's a better way to do it. And here's why. If you haven't watched the video, I'm going to give you an insight into the video anyhow. But if you, here's the reason why. Depending on where you live, you charge $100 for a rental, or $90 for a rental, or $75 for a rental. If you do the math, and you honestly think through your entire process, yeah, like Target, Michelle, Target, Walmart, they're everywhere. Just go to your regular section where you get Ziploc like lunch bags and stuff like that. They'll be there. You can't miss them. They're kind of a big item now, right now. And I think they're like $5. They're not that expensive. So it'd be worth it to get it. So my point of bringing up the themes is that when you've been doing this as long as Jennifer and I have been doing, which feels like an eternity, okay? It's all going to boil down to how much time it takes you from the day you pick up the phone call or the day that you get the email to the day you drive home and you're done with your rental. There's a process, okay? And you got to ask yourself, how many hours is it going to take me to do that process? For us, right, we had 2 people working on it. You know, I would say that it took 3 hours. And if you do the math, we're charging $100. We give it $10 off, you know, $90. You know, that's $30 an hour or $15 an hour for both Jennifer and I. And yeah, we love what we're doing and we're super excited about it, but we need to be more streamlined. I want that to be $45 an hour, right? So if we could take it from 3 hours from start to finish to 2 hours and be more organized, you understand why having the themes labeled, right, and in a bag is going to be better than looking through your entire inventory and saying, oh, let's use the green candle, you know, with the green cake, and we customized everything. And we're still going to customize. I'm not saying that we're not going to do that. It's just going to be on a different scale. And there were some nights we were putting like 50 items in someone's yard. And they love it. But anyway, that's a different story. I wanted to just point that out because that's going to be my mantra for the next couple months, is theme-based. I'm actually putting together something that's going to speak to that. And I think from a competitive advantage standpoint, and I talked about this a little bit in my last live stream, is you know, we're up against franchise owners. And as I mentioned this week, you know, these franchises are getting a little worried about you and I and everybody else who's in here, because there are a lot of us and we're taking money out of their pockets. So be on the lookout. If you see people taking pictures of your signs and you have copyrighted images like Elsa or the Avengers on your yard, someone's going to take a picture and someone's going to report you. It's just going to happen. All right, be prepared for it. And if you don't care, fine. That's okay. You can do that. But just be mindful of that, because now it's becoming, now we are starting to impact someone else, a business's bottom line. All right. Card My Yard and a few other franchises, you know, they get paid a franchise fee. So for every sign that they put out, they might get a percentage of it. I've heard as much as 30%. I've heard as little as 20%. But imagine renting a sign for $100 and you got to give $20 to your franchise. No thanks. I'm not into that. But there's a lot of us out there. And if a franchise that's making money isn't, their franchisees aren't, you know, putting out signs, they're losing money. So they're going to do everything in their power to protect their revenue. And you need to do everything in your power to optimize your revenue and kick ass. Now, the other thing that I want to point out here too is if you're new, and even if you're not new, you know that I talk about this a lot. The aspect and the idea behind being creative. Here's the secret sauce, okay? And if you're a franchise owner and you're watching this and you bring this back to the franchisees, I don't care, all right? I really don't, because we're going to kick your ass anyway. That's my goal. Franchises buy letters. They don't buy letters from David. They don't buy letters from LawnSupplyCandy.com. Sign Gypsies, Card My Yard, they make letters and they charge their franchisees to buy the letters. Can't buy letters anywhere else. That's the only place we can buy them. So if we are able to go to market by being more creative, by all of us having plotters, by all of us having partners like Lawn Candy Supply, and places like that, we'll be able to attack the market. And more importantly, what I want all of us to sort of wrap your mind around as well is, even though we aren't a franchise and you're here because you like your business and you're in the joy business and you're happy with what you're doing, you're also here because maybe your job that you had before COVID isn't around anymore. That's my case. My business is shot. It's done. So this is my only source of income. So I don't take it personally when I lose a sign, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to start getting a lot more competitive than I ever have been because it matters. So these are the kinds of things that if we collectively start thinking more about, we'll be able to attack the market quicker and we'll be able to generate the bulk of the revenue quicker because we're setting the trends. All right. And that's what I wanted to just kind of convey tonight, is that my vision for what it is that we're going to be doing is going to be encompassing being creative. It's going to be encompassing being streamlined. It's going to encompass having vendors like David and Alizar and Mindy over at Signway, so that we could all have an emporium of places where we could go and get better at what we're doing. You know, I saw somebody post today on the group that they zip tied their letters to a fence. Awesome. Do it. Get out there. Zip tie stuff. You know, there's another video that I did, and I don't have, you know, I can't take credit for having the corner on the market, but there's displays. We got a phone call from a woman who wanted to give a happy birthday to their real estate like manager in the office. And they were in a shopping center where there's no grass. So you got to have stands because you don't want to say no to stuff like that. You know, there's pros and cons to having it overnight, but, you know, we'll work through that. But that's kind of what I want everybody to start thinking about. That's kind of like at least what I hope everybody could start thinking more about, is that we are a collective body of people who are like-minded and have come together. We love our business. We love the joy business. We love what we're doing. We're happy bringing joy to people. And I love that that's a big aspect of what we do. And we do very well. But I also want to afford all of you an opportunity to make some good money. And part of that is going to also include upselling. And I'm going to start talking more about that stuff later. Because if you got somebody, here's another thing too. What time is it? All right, 7 more minutes and we'll open up for Q&A. So how many people on the live stream right now are in the balloon business? I'm curious. Is there anyone here who's in the balloon business and got to the Sign Fairy page because they wanted to add letters as another sales channel to their existing business? If there's anyone here, just you know, just say something in the comments. But my point is this: if there's a lot of people in the balloon business starting to get into the yard cart business, there should be a lot of yard carters thinking about getting in the balloon business. Riri, perfect example, right? I spoke to another woman, Tina, out of New York. She's from Yonkers, you know, and listen, the balloon business is epic. Has anybody else seen any of the stuff that Kyle posted here recently? Like, it's epic stuff. And, you know, exactly. Like, we need to be thinking when we get somebody on the phone, hi, ma'am, you know, you want a happy birthday sign for Sally? Perfect. Hey, listen, have you considered adding any balloons to this? We can tie balloons to your sign for an extra $19.95. How many balloons do I get? I get 5. Okay, great. I'll be happy to do that. Or maybe it's $9.95. I would default to Riri and ask her how much you charge for 5 balloons, right? Exactly, right? When we first started, we had a sign where congratulations or it's a boy or something. And Jennifer and I, she went to Dollar General and she grabbed a onesie, just a onesie. You know what I mean? Exactly. I know you're a clown, Riri. That's awesome. I might need to see a picture of that, by the way. Yeah, me too. So my point is upselling. So I don't think it's going to be that hard to find. I know how much you can buy helium for. I think you rent these big helium things you can keep in your house. Or you go to Dollar General. Listen, Dollar General will fill up a balloon for $1. Right? Do the math. Riri, you charge $19.95 for a bundle of 5 or 7 balloons. Right? You go to Dollar General, you fill them up, you have them in your car with you, and you install your sign, and then you tie them in a sign. Okay, you just upselled. If you're charging, $90 or $100, you just increased your gross revenue by 20%. Is that a good thing? I think so. How about this? For all the people who have plotters, if you don't know what a plotter is, if anybody has a Cricut machine, all right, you know that you're making letters because you may not be able to afford. Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe we'll get to that in just a second. But David, and maybe you can't do it. Michelle's in the balloon business. See, like there's so many people who are already in the balloon business. Yeah, Selena, I get that. But here's the problem with that. That $35 helium tank is going to only fill up probably 15, 20 balloons. I've already looked into that. Anyway, you guys understand what I'm saying, right? We need to be thinking differently. And so for the people, like I know Michelle, she can make, beautiful letters. We get vinyl going. What about, hey ma'am, great. Thanks for buying the bundle of balloons for $19.99, right? How about this? What if I made Sally's name in red and I charge you $10 a letter for an extra $50? You can keep Sally's name. You know what I mean? Now, what did you do? You've upsold 20% by offering more balloons, right? And now someone wants to buy their name because you're going to do it in KG font with $10 a letter, right? Now you made an extra $50. So now you made $70. You've almost increased your gross revenue for that sale by 80%. Think about that. All right? There were some nights where I was installing 4 signs a night, making $400 a night. God, those fire ants ate my lunch. I'm still dealing with that stuff. It's killing me. Killing me, Whitey. You're killing me. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I want all of us to start thinking that way. Why? Well, because we all need to start thinking about different ways that we can make more money. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And I think that we can do it together. I think that we could all do it together. Selena, I know that you can do it, right? We've already had this conversation. Hopefully you found all those schools. Have you? Here's another great thing, all right, about these live streams. Selena reached out to me directly. And I'm inviting you all to do that too. All right. And she had a question that she asked me. Her question was, I need to start renting signs. How do I start? Here's the answer. Call every single school in your local neighborhood. Tell them you want to get the principal on the phone. Tell them you want to set up a revenue share where every mom or parent who goes to that school who rents a sign, you're going to give them $5. You don't think they'll do it? I'm telling you right now they will. Yes, I know you did. Right? Because it matters to you. Would you be happy if you sold a sign for $100 and then were able to upsell and sell them stuff for another $70? I mean, think about that for a second. And then I'm going to open up to Q&A. All right? But think about that for a second. Let's just make simple math. $100 rental, okay? You upsell and you add another $75 to it. $175, okay? You do 10 rentals a week. You're making $1,000, all right? You add $75 to that, to each one. Listen, these are big numbers. I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time. Maybe it's going to be less. I don't really know. But we got to be thinking about making more money. So 75 times 10. So you added another $750 to your weekly margins, right? You make an extra $3,000 if you can upsell 75%. Big numbers. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. It's probably going to be really hard. But I live in an area that's very affluent, and people are willing to spend money. And even now with COVID, you know, there are, you know, Sally is having all of her friends' kids come over, but they're still renting signs. And now we got to upsell. You know who doesn't upsell? Yeah, you got it. Card My Yard, Sign Gypsies, and all those guys up there. I'll tell you, Riri, you know what? I'm going to post. I'm going to get that link for you right now, so you see it. Hold on. And before I forget, I don't know if you guys can all see me. I think you can. I am going to put the affiliate code. So we have David Amar on the live stream tonight, and David is Sign Fairies' first partner. He owns a business called Shift Marketing and LawnCandySupply.com. And David and I have started a partnership where he's giving Sign Fairy members exclusive access to his, you know, themes and flair and letters. And you can go there and you can get access to it. There you go, Riri. Little self-promotion. I made a video on how you can make a display with a simple 2x6x12. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. You'll learn it in the video. But I'm also going to get David's affiliate link. I'm going to share this with you guys as well. All right. Wood. That's the affiliate link. If you haven't signed off at LawnCandySupply.com, click on that affiliate link, sign up for a free account, and you'll get discounts. I think you extended them, right, David? I think you did. Anyway, I bantered on long enough. I wanted to go on a little bit of a rant there so that all of you guys kind of understood what I'm going to be doing with my business and what I'm starting to do. All right? I'm taking pictures of all my themes. I'm taking pictures of everything. I'm updating my website. I'm selling vinyl there. Listen, there's a lot of great things that we have that we haven't taken advantage of, in my opinion. And I'm going to teach everybody how to do it. You know, I just want to. And if we can grow this group, the biggest group on Facebook, great. That'd be awesome. I want that more than anybody else. But that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So David extended the discount, 10% discount off themes and flair. I bought just recently, because I know David charged my card today, the casino theme that's there and the unicorn theme. And I'm excited to get them. I really am. And you know what I made tonight? You know what? Hold on. I'm going to show it to you. So tonight, here's the benefit of a plotter. A couple more minutes. What's a plotter, Renick? A plotter is something that will cut vinyl for you, and you can put it on corrugated plastic. Hey, Daniel. All right, you put it on corrugated plastic. So I told Jennifer to start selling signs. So tonight I got to go install a sign for Trey. So you know what I did? I'll show you. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. So I made these things. I made them tonight. 22 inches. Put them on corrugated plastic that I bought for $13.50 a sheet. All right? I want to empower all of you to be creative and make your own stuff. It's another way to get fast to the market. All right? Okay. I've bantered long enough. I am going to zip my pie hole, and I'm going to start answering questions. And if you got them, lay them on me. I'm going to answer them all. I'm going to do it. What does everybody think about Biff? I'm not drinking beer, I swear. It's seltzer. We have a place called Food Line here. It's a great name, isn't it? Food Line. Who's going to go first? Who's going to ask a question? David, you're not allowed to ask a question. All right. What do you want me to post to the website, Chris? I didn't see it. I just posted the link for the display in here. It should be in here. Dude, I need Biff. I'm telling you, if he's not included in this pack, I'm going to be pissed. If you guys go to signfairies.net, you can buy t-shirts that say Biff on them. I also have, oh, that's a great question. What do you use for small flares? It's JOYbusiness. Toya. Toya's new too. I had someone reach out to me today. Someone reached out to me directly. They had sent a request to join the group. And I looked on my phone. They'd sent it I don't know, 4 hours ago. I was driving my camper home. She sent me an IM. She's like, hey, I want to join your group. Will you approve me? Getting hostile. JOYbusiness, Toya. I think it's all one word. Good. Thanks, David. All right. So the question is, what size flares do we use? And the answer to that question is that it depends. Now, if when I started the business and I had nothing but Victory Store stuff, my smaller flares were about 12 inches. I had the stars. Maybe I'll go get them. David's asking questions. Sorry, you're fine, pal. Yes. I'm going to answer the flare question first, and I'll get to yours, David. So listen, it really depends. So listen, I'm going to grab the back to school bag that I have, okay? This happens to be all of David's stuff, all right? David's on the live stream right now. This is Lawn Candy Supply. All right, so I'm going to just grab some flares. So we have a flare that's a pen, okay? Let me grab my measuring tape. The pen is 23 inches long by 8 inches wide, okay? So that would be one example. And the flutes are going, is that vertical or horizontal? I can't remember. Up and down. So this is how it's going to look in the yard. All right. And then Jennifer and I, we added, because we have a plotter, we added red vinyl letters that are, hold on. You're welcome, Toya. Just call it 11 inches. It's 11 inches. That's from this point to here. And then we also have smaller ones too. We have these guys. And that's about, call it 6.5 inches. All right. So it varies. You know, you can have any kind of vertical. You can have any kind of size flare that you want. Listen, you're in the creative business here. You're trying to tell me that someone, when you paint something on a canvas, that, you know, it's the right or the wrong way? No, it's not. You have creative freedom. You're an independent person. There's no right or wrong. What looks nice to you might not look nice to me, but you can do whatever you want in someone's yard, right? Because they're going to be happy about it. So that would be one way to answer your question. All right, hold on, Selena. We got a couple more. David got really long-winded. He's asked the same thing. So, listen, I'll be honest. I just stumbled on this business by finding someone else doing it locally. They're not a franchise. Great. I have a vinyl background, and I've worked with both coroplast and vinyl. What is the best way someone can get started and basically compete against someone who's already in the area? This is what you do. All right? Here's the inside information. All right? You got a plotter, you know how to work vinyl. You cut out a happy birthday theme. What kind of font will you use? KG, the last time font, or the luckiest guy font? Have them different colors. Either do all black, do all red, do red, black, blue, green, lilac, silver, whatever it is. Happy birthday, okay? And then you're going to have to print out an alphabet. Print out an alphabet. All right? And I can tell you what you need later on, but you're going to have to do that. It's a lot of work, man. All right? But start with your themes. Don't go out and buy, not right now, a whole set of alphabet letters just yet. Start with the happy birthday and then build from there. And then create your themes as you go. If you're in the coroplast business and you understand vinyl, then you know that you could print on vinyl as well. You can also do artwork and send it to David at lawncandysupply.com and put it on plastic for you. Okay? Thanks, Riri. Does that answer your question, David? Long-winded. All right. Okay, Selena. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful question. All right. What most of you don't know is, and I went there tonight, is I did a video on how you create an ad on Facebook. And when I tell you that the process is painstaking and arduous, it's true. But what you need to do is you need to set up a Facebook account. You need to sign up for a thing called Ad Manager. But I did a video on how you can do this and how you can actually target people, okay? And for Selena, I'll put the video link in here and you can check it out. But everything that you do on Facebook, I'm talking everything. Every group you click on, every IM you send to somebody, every news clip, article you click on, everything is being tracked, okay? When you go and you sign up and you give all your personal information about who and what you are, I'm married, I'm almost 50, I have 3 kids, these ages, right? You can create an advertising campaign based on that. And when I first started our yard sign business, this is a true story, this actually happened to me. I figured out the Ad Manager. And I ran an ad targeting moms who lived within a 5-mile or 10-mile radius of where I lived, that they had kids between the ages of 2 and 0, okay? And then it was from 3 to like 13, and then like 13 to 18. And then I could even find these people that were having kids and birthdays within the next 60 days. So I found all these people, okay? And I targeted them specifically. And I targeted all moms. Moms, women, ladies, you target moms. Don't target dads. They don't give a shit, okay? Some of them do, but target moms. Because you guys, believe it or not, need to show how much you love your kids by doing stuff for you. So it matters to you when you do a big extravaganza for your son or your daughter, because it shows them how much you love them. That's been my experience with my wife. That's how she does it. So target women only within a 10-mile radius. And this is what my ad said. I swear to God, this is what my ad said. It said, Mommy, why can't I have all my friends come over for my birthday? Just like in March when COVID just started. Dude, I spent $10 a day for 5 days for a total of $50. And I sold and rented roughly 6 to 9 signs. Talk about ROI. Yeah, big deal. All right, Selena. So I'm going to get that video for you. I'm going to post it right here. I want you to look at it. It's called Facebook Ad Manager. And now that you have all your schools and all that stuff, this will be a good exercise for you to go through. Because now you could spend $5 a day and target these people and kick some ass. All right, here it is. This video is 20 minutes long. It's really good. And I got to go back and finish it. But this one's for you, for being so good. I'm proud of you. Okay. There's the video for the Facebook Ad Manager. I'm going to go back up here. Great question, Tammy. Hold on. Okay. So Tammy asked a question, what size stakes do you use for those smaller pieces? So when we bought our Victory Store starter set, it came with 24-inch single stakes. I'm going to show you. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. All right, here's the lesson on layering, okay? I'm going to give it to you right now, Tammy, free of charge. It's because I'm awesome, all right? This is a 30-inch H stake, okay? 10 inches wide by 30 inches high, okay? You put your happy birthday signs, you put your H on this, letter H, all right? So now you got your letter. It's in the ground. This happens to be a number. I know. Okay? Then what you do is you grab a different flare. Let's just say it's a unicorn theme. Maybe you grab a unicorn. This is a 24-inch easy stake, a single one. You get 2 of them. All right? Put them in the ground right next to your 30-inch stake. So now you have depth. You have 30 inches high. Not really, because it's falling down here. But then now you're going to have another unicorn that's going to be a little bit in front of it, like maybe right about here. Okay, covering some of the bottom of the letter, all right? Then you're going to have one of those 12-inch stars. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to put them on 12-inch easy stakes. These are 12-inch easy stakes. They have dog legs. Here's a question for you guys. This will be a good question. Why do easy stakes have these little dog legs on them? Does anybody know? I'll be shocked if you know. And it's not by mistake. All right? So the reason these have dog legs on them is because you're going to get in the ground that's going to be hard as concrete. And you're going to be swearing like a madman because you're not going to know how to put that stuff in there. So when you put, dude, this turned out to be a pretty good video. Giving you guys some top-notch knowledge. All right? So you got your 12-inch letter. Flutes are running vertical. Well, this is what we do. I don't put 1 in here. I put 2. So I'm going to put 1 on one side, right like this, and another one in like this, okay? And I'm going to keep the dog legs out, all right? So this is what it's going to look like, but at an angle. You see where these dog legs are? Now, how do I do this? All right, so you see how that's there? So now what you're going to do is, when you put this in the ground, you're going to take your thumbs. You're going to put your thumbs on here. And when you put it in the ground, I'll do it like this. Just imagine it's the other way. All right? Just play with me for a second. You put it in the ground. Now you're going to push them in with your thumbs. You see where my thumbs are? You push them in with your thumbs. All right? You might have to torque it a little bit, but that'll be a good way to get it in there. Well, Renick, why don't you just use one easy stake? That just seems like it's too much effort. Well, genius, if you put one easy stake in and you don't put it in deep enough, guess what happens? It spins around. All right? Don't do this. Don't be that guy. Put two in. Okay? So I would recommend to you, Tammy, that you get H stakes, and you can buy those on Amazon, or you can buy them at David at longcandysupply.com. I'm going to be selling them too. And then I have to find out where we can, I have to find out where we can get, Allie's here. We got New York here, Long Island, where we can get other easy stakes. And you know what, David, that's something that you and I should talk about. I want to find somebody who can make these locally for me. Anyway, look at you, Riri. Keep it from turning. Everybody's following along. This is great. What else? So did I answer your question, Tammy? I think I did. All right, Selena, you got your Facebook ad manager. Start setting that up. Yeah, ads scare me too, Toya. It's scary as hell. Scary as hell. All right. We should have a conversation about that. Because that would be something that we could definitely offer to these guys, which would be great. Ah, that's right. Shit. I got, you know what, believe it or not, there's a couple companies here in Mooresville that could do this, I'm sure. I'll find out. All right, Tammy, so we got you squared away. $3 million pieces behind schedule. Holy cow. That's behind schedule. All right, 9:52. What other questions we got? Would it be helpful that I download this video and put it on YouTube for you guys? Because I can do that too. Allie, will you remind everybody how awesome Biff is, please? Biff just gets it. Biff. Yeah, I said that. Joy business. One word. One word or two words, David? I think it's one word. Joy business. All right, I can do that, Selena. All right, I'll put it on YouTube. That'll be good. Listen, I want all of you to know that I am freaking crushing it on YouTube. Okay? Because of you guys, I've been monetized, and I might be able to retire soon. I'm going to get to you in 1 second, Toya. I need to share, I need to be full disclosure with you guys, okay? Because it's overwhelming. Today I checked my Google ad, or my Google Analytics, and you know, because now I can monetize my videos. I get paid by YouTube when they post ads that you guys have to watch, which I'm sorry about, but not really. I freaking smashed it yesterday. I made $3.40. Collectively over the last 2 weeks, I think I've made $50. Smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. I know. It's overwhelming. Shanta, whoa! Great question. Yes, I do use a contract, Tammy. But I'm not going to answer that question. You want to know why? I don't know where you live, and you need to find out what the laws are in your state, because what I might be able to do in North Carolina, you might not be able to do where you live. And if I tell you to do something and something bad happens, I could get in trouble. So you got to research it. Go to your local county website, whatever county you live in, and research it and find out what you can and you can't do. Or you might have to call an attorney. Or you could go I did a YouTube video on legal documents, and I can share that with you guys too. Yes, Toya, you can. Toya, I would happily lend you $1. My finance charge, though, it will be 10%. That's 10 cents if you can't add that. Yeah, crushing it. Hey, but listen, you know what? You're in North Carolina? Yeah, then you know what? Send me an IM and we'll talk about it. But here's the thing about YouTube, all right? And this is for all of you who are new members who don't know of what's happened over the course of the last months. You should know this. I started this YouTube thing, I started this Facebook thing, not because of any wisdom of my own. I was told by some group members and subscribers, Nancy, my God, where you been? Nancy Clayton in the house. I was told by some group members that I needed to start a Facebook group and I needed to start a YouTube channel. And I did. And man, I'm so glad I took your guys' advice. You know, for someone who isn't, listen, a nickel is not a lot of money, right? Would you not agree? But when you don't have a nickel, man, it's a lot of money. So every little avenue helps, right? That's including this affiliate link with David, okay? So if you guys are going to buy stuff, it would be wonderful if you wanted to support the channel and support me by just buying the stuff through Lawn Candy Supply and our other approved vendor, which is Seinway as well. Because they are paying me a monthly fee to be here. That's how vested they are. Is it? I love it, Selena. And you know what, Selena? I want to... Toya, you come to Charlotte? Listen, 20 miles north of Charlotte, I'm in Lake Norman. You will come see me. It's not a question of if, you will. I'm demanding it. We got a lot of other people here in the group who live here locally, so we can have like a sign fairy banquet. We'll just make signs. We'll have a sign fairy collage session. But you know, here's a wonderful thing that you guys got to understand. You don't have to understand, but it's probably worth sharing. And it doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened a couple of different times. And Selena is a perfect example. Okay, and there's been a few other stories. I'll say 3 more. All right, where I've been, someone has reached out to me and said, hey, you know, my husband's been laid off. You know, we're sort of in a tough time. Listen, I'm going through tough times too, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not all roses over here. Okay, I gotta go install a sign tonight. I just told you. All right, so I'm working for my money too, and some of these people are letting me know that they're struggling. You know. And they came across my YouTube videos and the group, and they found some encouragement to go out and start making money, you know, and being creative. And I got to tell you, man, listen, at the end of the day, that stuff warms my heart more than you'll know. And I'm an emotional guy. I really am. David, you may not know this, but I'm an emotional guy. I'm very touched by all this kind of stuff. And it is about giving back. If you read some of the rules in our group, we're giving back to all of us, and I want to be able to do that. And that's part of what we're doing here is giving back to all of you so that you can find a way to supplement some of your income until this thing goes away. And maybe even more, you know? It's good stuff. I know you're down for that. And I'm serious. I'm as serious as a heart attack. If I find out that you come to Charlotte, Toya, and you don't look me up, I'm going to be mad. And then the next time you come to Charlotte, I'm going to find you. And then you might shoot me with a 12 gauge, which I wouldn't like. But that's okay. I'll bandage myself up. You're coming. Riri's coming. Allie's coming. Anyway, so that's kind of the motivation behind all this. You know, I just honestly, I never dreamed of anything that's ever like this happening. And, right? Do we all agree that we love Biff? Can we all agree on that? for a second? All right, so we're getting some collaboration going on here. Selena's coming. Riri's coming. Riri, are you going to bring some balloons? We need to have like a full balloon extravaganza. Hell, maybe Riri, you can come down here and teach us all how to do balloons. I know you do that. You know, there's a little bit of delay here. So, no, I know you wouldn't do that, Toy. But you gotta promise me you'll look me up. And that's an open invitation for everybody. All right? Hold on. My Mac is getting a little silly. All right, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. Anybody else got some more questions? I could probably squeeze a couple more minutes. Cool. I love it. Do you guys, so let me ask a couple more questions. Do you guys like this? David, you're coming. You're definitely coming, David. It's not a question. Can I tell you guys a story, a behind-the-scenes story? It's a great story. It's a heartwarming story. I wouldn't say it's controversial, but hopefully it's uplifting. All right. So I got 3 boys. I'm going to tell you a story. Chrissy, it's okay. We're going to post this up on YouTube. You can hammer down on it later. Good. So maybe we'll make this a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. That would be good. Because I got to tell you, I like that I know you, Selena, that we've connected. Toya, I know, Biff for president. Exactly. Kim, there she is. We're talking about you, Kim. Kim was the woman I was talking to. Kim's from Yonkers. Do you see how excited I get, Kim? Kim is in the house. Nancy's in the house. This is epic. This is just epic. She's all ears. So here's a story. All right. So my middle son, Aiden, everybody knows that kids at this day and age, they don't interact. They do everything via text. So my middle son met this girl in a chat room or whatever, but she lives locally, so we kind of know who she is. And she was very pretty, and he liked her. Okay, and so I told Aiden, I said, listen, you don't even know this girl. You haven't even met her yet. You know what I mean? Ask her if she'll go get a cup of coffee or something. I don't know. What do you get? Like a Frappuccino? Go get one of those things. Queens. Sorry, Kim. Yeah, you know, Queens. So anyway, so I said to him, you gotta see if she will go get a Frappuccino with you. Why not? You haven't even met this girl yet. You already like her. He's like, Dad, don't embarrass me. I'm like, listen, man, this is what I said to him. This is the dad advice. I said, listen, if you don't go for it, you'll never know. And trust me, you better just find out now whether or not she's interested or not. And here's the deal. He didn't. He was too scared. Okay? And she ended up dating another guy, which got him a little upset. Like, my son's 13 years old, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like a divorce or anything. All right? So they're meeting these new kids in the neighborhood, and my middle son, Aiden, meets a girl in the neighborhood. And he comes into my office one day, right here. He comes in the office, comes into the door. He goes, Dad, this is what he says to me. He goes, Dad, do you remember when you told me in the truck that I just needed to go for it? I just need to find out whether or not this girl's interested or not. Do you remember? I didn't do it. I was like, yeah, Aiden, I do remember that. I said, how did that make you feel? He's like, terrible, Dad. Terrible. He's like, this new girl in the neighborhood, I really like her. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? He's like, I don't know, but I think I should ask her out. I'm like, yeah, I think you should. She's like, well, what do I say? What should I say to her? I'm like, I'll tell you. This is what I said. I said, you look at her in the face and you say, you know, so-and-so, listen, I have no idea what's going on here, but I think you're beautiful, and I really like you. And I don't know where this is going. I don't know what's happening, but I'd like to learn. I'd like to spend a little bit more time with you. Would that be something that you would be open to? And then she says this. She says, well, listen, I'm going to be 15 in 2 weeks. You're 13. I'm really concerned about this age thing. I don't know how I feel about it. And Aiden says this. He goes, okay, listen, I can appreciate that. I totally understand what you're saying. But how many 14 and 15-year-olds have told you that you're beautiful? She turned bright red. Bright red. He said, and she said, no. Hold on. It's a proud father. Oh, hold on. I know, hold on. Right? We went camping this weekend, and Jennifer picked them up and brought them up, and we had a campfire, and they went swimming, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, you know, I'm a softie, I guess. All right, Shanta. Isn't that a great story? Selena, is that a good story? Did I give the right fatherly advice? Or are you going to eviscerate me because I said something stupid? Anyway, so Shanta, let me just say this to you. I'll answer your question. I'll answer it this way. So I had to install a sign. True story. I had to install a sign at a woman's house whose son was on the spectrum, meaning that he God, it escapes me what it is. It's not Asperger's, but it's where they're not very affectionate, and they're very sensitive, like sensory overload. Anyway, I can't remember what it was, but this woman wanted to have a sign for her son, and she called me. She lived like 20 miles away from me, so she called me on the phone and she said, "Can you give me a sign for my son?" And I said, "No, I can't. It's too far." And then somebody else called and said, "You need to deliver the sign because her son doesn't have a lot of friends, and you know he's also has some learning disabilities, some severe learning disabilities." So I'm a softie, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." And she made me cupcakes, and they were delicious, by the way. But anyway, I went to go install this woman's sign for her son in a freaking monsoon. I'm talking like 30-mile-an-hour winds. I was going to go for it. I was like, you know what? If all my signs disappear and end up in Kansas, screw it. You know what? At least I gave it a shot. So I staked these stakes in the ground, like not very deep, at least 3 inches. At least 3 inches. Happy birthday, themes, the whole 9 yards. Monsoon. I have my jacket on. It's raining. It's downpouring. I'm in my truck. I got the fast wipers going home. I'm saying to myself, I just lost all that merchandise. It's gone. It was for a good cause. Because I know the mom was looking outside that night, making sure that I was installing it. Because it meant that much to her. Check this out. So the next day, she sends me a text. She says, "The happy birthday sign was wonderful. Thank you so much. It was great." And I said, "Great. Well, how did your son like it?" And this is what she said to me. She said, "He hugged me for at least a full minute." And for those people who don't know, kids who have the type of learning disability or Asperger's or whatever it is, they don't like being touched at all. As a matter of fact, they despise it. They hate it. And for any touching at all or any signs of affection, it's a touchdown. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. And her son hugged her mom for a minute. She said a minute. It was awesome. But at the end of the day, your signs are going to stay in the ground. And if the higher you put them up, you just need to make sure that you support them. All right? I don't put them up too high. I just don't. Okay? Because that's an excursion. You know, there's some people who have done it. You know the person who has done it and you should reach out to? Josie. Josie? Is that who it is? Allie, who was the one who won the Asperger's? Allie, who was the one who won the drawing for the happy birthday sign? I know you remember. because you don't forget that kind of stuff. Thanks, Nancy. Autism, that's what it is. She is a beauty, isn't she? See? Everybody can relate to that stuff. Hey, man, I'm not kidding. We're in the joy business. We bring joy to people. We have approved vendors who help us bring joy to people. And it's wonderful. And trust me when I tell you, the longer you stay in this business and the longer you hang around and the more signs that you rent, I promise you, you will have an opportunity to do something like this. All right? You will. And I pray from the bottom of my heart that you're open to it and you take it in for what it's worth and experience it, whatever you're going to experience. Because I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I know that when I'm open to it and I'm ready to hear it, they're usually memories that I never forget. Janice, there you are. So Janice is the one that, Shanta, we need to talk to about the length of the signs. She had like a skyscraper. She had like the Twin Towers in one of her displays. It was epic. Janice, I have no idea how you did that, but it was incredible. I don't know if you're like a construction or like a structural engineer, but I don't know how you did that. I need to know. Janice is in North Carolina too. She's gonna come to this Sign Fairy banquet. She's just gonna. We're invited, Janice. Everybody's invited. It's just seltzer. I'm not slamming beers on Monday night. By the way, I gotta send you a picture. The red that we got, it's a little red orangey. As a matter of fact, here it is. Hold on. I'm glad you're here, Janice. So Janice, this is the red that we got. Is that okay? You gotta tell me, is that okay? Here, I'll bring it a little bit closer. It's not really a red. Like here's another red. Here, I'll show you. Sorry guys, I just had to get Janice. I've been wanting to talk to her about this, but now that she's here, and I know you're gonna say this one, I just know it. So there's this red, and then there's the red that came. All right? So if you want this red, I gotta order it. And I'm happy to order it. I gotta get it anyway. But if you want me to bang this out this week, I can do this one. I'm happy to do it. I'll even do it in Luckiest Guy Find. Shanta, Lake Wiley. You just gotta let me know, Janice. Does cool mean that you're good for the orangey red or the real red? That would be like the red pumps red. All right. Yes, I know. All right. I'll get the red one. I'll order it tomorrow. I was hoping you'd say the orangey red. That's okay. I understand. It's not about what I want. It's about what you want. I'm here for you. Okay. All right. All right. We're coming up on 10:15, and I got to go install a sign. So does anybody else have any other questions? The darker one for sure. I will do that. Is that a tomato red? Dude. All right. Yeah, you got. Yeah, that's vinyl. That's vinyl. Tori, we gotta get you a plotter. I can tell already that you would like to do that stuff. So we need to know more about balloons. We need to know more about. Let's see. Scroll through here. Asperger's. Yeah. So, Lena, I need an update on what we talked about. You're going to call those places this week? Good, David. Ask questions, buddy. You're in the right group to do that. A lot of people will help you here. You're welcome, Janice. Thank you for being patient. You're fantastic. I love you. Anybody else? I really don't want to leave. I could stay here all night. Good. Please do. Not for me, but for you. Any other questions? I really don't want to go install this time. Do they? Air-filled balloons are probably cheaper too, right? Yeah. Tori, this is your deal, girl. You're right in your wheelhouse. Right in your wheelhouse. Yeah, I made this today. Like 3 hours ago. I got an air bubble in it. You can't see it though, can you see it? No, you can't. Listen, it's all about learning, guys. Karen, listen. You're tardy. You're not allowed to get any of this information. You are excluded from all of this content. Okay? Kick-ass, David. Thanks for coming. Toya, you got this. Listen, all you need is a razor knife. Listen, you need to watch the Vinyl 101. Watch the Vinyl 101 video that I have on YouTube, and then watch the Let's Lay Some Vinyl. And I did another one about cutting. You got this. This is totally in your wheelhouse. Kim, you and I got to connect this week. I got to set up a time with you on the phone. I want to get an update. Okay, Karen, sorry. You're right. You will have access to all this content. I'm going to upload it and put it on YouTube, and then that way you can have it and watch it later on. Okay? I'm seriously considering making this maybe like a weekly thing. I think it would be good for all of us. I'm feeling like I feel like I've gotten my feelings out. Emotionally, like I feel like I've been heard. All right, David, you still there? Whoa. Tanya, Victoria, that sounds scary. You better take care of yourself. All right, Karen, you should be able to watch this playback like literally now, so you should be fine. Gloves and boots. Yes. Gloves and boots. All right. I got to go install this sign. Luckily, it's not that far away. Well, listen, you guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. I hope you enjoyed my madness here tonight. Check out lawnsupplycandyplease.com with the affiliate link that David put in there if you're looking to get some themes and some flair. You'd be supporting the group by doing that, and me personally, which I would appreciate. I'm also selling vinyl on signfairies.net, so if you wanted to purchase some vinyl for some different themes, that'd be good too. Yes, Heidi. Okay. All right, everybody. We'll keep this going. I'll send out an invite. We'll do it again maybe next week. All right? Be well, everybody. Have an awesome week. Keep smiling. We'll see you real soon. Okay? Thank you. Good night.